MGTO is all about being your own person and not giving in to social pressures or expectations, as the name suggests. Men in the MGTO movement think that getting married, living with a partner, dating, and chasing women in general is a waste of time and something that society makes us do. Not your protectors, not your providers, and not your baby makers is a common way of promoting the belief. I found MGTOW by accident when I was living my own life and deciding to stay away from women or chase them for 5 years so I could do more. The results were so surprising that I wondered if young men should stay single in order to be successful. Years later, the MGTO mindset grew, and I wanted to help people with the same goals. The practice of MGTOW may be extreme and have deeper problems that need to be fixed, but the core ideas behind it may be onto something. Everyone knows that marriage has problems. Today, 40% of marriages end in divorce, but these numbers are out of date because we heard them 10 years ago. Also, it's not a secret that when these marriages end, the man usually loses all of his money and the woman ends up with more than she had before. These are facts that everyone knows. Since this is the case, it's no wonder that so many men are turning down marriage. Why would you sign a contract that has a 40% chance of taking at least 50% of your savings or net worth? Men in the MGTO movement have come to this conclusion, and it's hard to blame them. When you look at marriage closely, you start to see it for what it is. For thousands of dollars, you get a ring, a shared last name, and some Instagram photos. Yet, based on how women act when they are asked out, you think they were given a second chance at life. Strangely, society has made marriage seem like this all-powerful goal that we must reach. But once it's done, no one's life gets better. There's no more loyalty, a small tax cut, and divorce lawyers make a lot of money. It wouldn't be surprising if marriage stopped being done at all in the next 20 years, especially as more and more men realize that it's done to protect women financially, but doesn't help the man in any way. MGTOW groups often talk about how women want equality but still hold on to old-fashioned ideas like the man should pay. The man should go up to the woman, ask her out, and make the first move. The man should spend 3 months of his annual salary on an engagement ring to show the woman how much he loves her. He should always be behind the wheel. The man should help her and keep her safe. He should be someone she can cry on and talk to about her worries. Men in the MGTO movement disagree with these ideas, and they are right to do so. Why should men be expected to follow these rules like love-struck sheep if women want equality? Even if the MGTO's ideas seem crazy at first, after you think about them for a while, you start to see where they're coming from and strongly agree with the obvious flaws in how men and women court. Is there any evidence that men do better in life when they ignore women? It must be said that thousands of men and male success stories have been attributed to a strong and supportive wife or girlfriend. But are we putting too much faith in the partner? Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, just got divorced in public, and his wife is now one of the richest people in the world. Women said that she deserved every penny because she had always been a good wife. But many men would say that a business genius like her would have done just as well no matter what, but she wouldn't have come close. What would happen if more men chose a more selfish path to personal growth instead of the traditional route of dating, getting a girlfriend, and getting married? All of the things you do for a relationship that take time are dating, caring, talking, having sex, cuddling, Valentine's Day, and having a lazy Sunday. When people talk about relationships, they talk about the emotional and spiritual work that goes into them, but they rarely talk about how much time it takes to build and keep a relationship going. If you live with your partner, you should spend at least the weekends and evenings together. When you're at work, you don't have any time to work on yourself or move forward in your success. When you first start dating a woman, you might go out once a week. After a while, that number might go up to 2 or 3, and before you know it, you're spending all of your free time with this woman. If things go well, that's great, but most people don't find their wife the first time they try. Chances are you've dated a lot of women since you were 18. That's a lot of time you could have spent better on the wrong people. Let's say you want to start a business, but it will cost you $20,000 over the next 3 years. If you want to keep your girlfriend, it's likely that you'll spend $20,000 on things like dates, birthdays, snacks, takeout, gifts, Christmas, Valentine's Day, vacations, and more over the next 2 years. Men in the MGTOW movement think that this is an unnecessary expense that drains their money but makes the woman happy. Again, it's hard to disagree with what the men of MGTOW say. Men are expected to pay for dates, drive a nice car, buy an expensive ring, pay for the wedding, and pay the mortgage. Then if you have anything left, use it to raise children so the woman can be happy with her life. But the man feels drained, limited, and powerless. When he buys a sports car, people say he's having a midlife crisis. Dating and being around women in general are fun, but it's hard to argue that they don't make a big difference in anyone's life. MGTOW thinks that these things like dating, marriage, how many women you've slept with, and more are distractions put in place by society. A popular quote says, "Happy wife, happy life." It says a lot about how modern men think. They worry so much about what women think of them, how to attract women, and how to keep their partner happy that they become slaves to women or the one woman they're with. All things considered, it's hard to argue that men, especially younger men, wouldn't benefit from the extra money and time. If there were less distractions and less focus on sex, chasing women, saving for marriage, a house, and other things, it would be clear that it would make a difference. But you could also say that having a partner gives a man stability, which makes him better at managing his money. I'm sure that if they got rich and stayed single, millions of men would spend hours in strip clubs, thousands on escorts, and weeks on lads' trips. But there is a case for MGTOW. It's possible that millions of men would be better off if they focused on their own lives instead of starting a new one with a woman. Men who had a lot of potential but put all of their worth on what women think and how much attention they get. A healthy balance is possible, but it's hard to argue that the time and money you save wouldn't be better spent building your own life first. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.